Hello, I'm just going to record this video for a very simple technical drawing exercise, and what I've drawn, the outline here of is a square based rectangular prism. So this is the elevation and this is the plan. So the position for the square based rectangular prism is 140 millimeters from the top of the sheet and in 100 from the left hand side to this point here on the elevation. Now you measure 60 millimeters for the width of the square based rectangular prism, okay, and the height is 90 millimeters. So your elevation is 60 millimeters width, 90 millimeters high. The plan then is situated 20 millimeters below the ground line of the elevation, or the XY line of the elevation. So 20 millimeters below that. And then you simply draw a line for the top of your plan and then put down the depth of, or the width of, the square based prism, rectangular prism, which is 60 millimeters. So it's 60 millimeters, which you can take down your points from your elevation, and 60 millimeters down. Okay, and that gives you the square on plan, Now to simply then draw in your end views, you simply draw up at 45 degrees a line from each of those points. Likewise on the other side, here and here. Now, once you have that, where those 45-degree lines hit the XY line, the ground line, you simply project those points up here, here, and likewise here and here. Okay, and you get your two end views. Now I'm just going to go ahead and ink this in as a square based rectangular prism. Okay, so I'm simply going to ink what I've already put in as a light line there, so light construction lines. So if I can rather than use the set square, I can use the T square. Okay, so I simply draw in to the top of the elevation. Okay, and I have the top of my end view over on the left hand side and the top of the end view on the right hand side. Okay, I can do the likewise on the bottom. So the bottom of the elevation, the bottom of the end view on the left hand side, and the bottom of the end view on the right hand side. Okay, now I can then do the horizontal lines also on my plan. So top of my plan and the bottom of my plan. Now I can then use my set square to draw in the vertical lines. So that's the end view, side view on the right hand side. This is the elevation. And again, try and keep your lines nice and accurate from point to point, especially when you're inking in. Okay, so I have the elevation, the side view looking in from the right hand side, side view looking in from the left hand side. I'm just going to finish the vertical lines on my plan. Now the square-based rectangular prism, you have the elevation, you have the plan, you have the side view looking in from the left hand side over here, you have the side view here looking in from the right hand side. Okay, now what I'm going to do very simply on this, I'm going to cut the square-based pyramid, and I'm going to cut it with a line, the red line here. Okay, so it doesn't matter, I'm going to cut it just for expediency sake. I'm going to move up 35 millimeters on the left hand side, 35 millimeters on the left hand side, and the cut is going to be from this point here. Okay, so okay, so the red line there indicates a cut on the elevation. Now, in order to find out how that cut imposes itself on the other views, so looking in from the right hand side, I'm not going to see anything, but I show it on the basis of a broken line. So this side over here, I'm going to have a line, but it's going to be a broken line. Now on the other side, looking in this way, I'm going to see this point here. I'm going to see that as a hard line. Okay. Now on the plan, I'm looking down and I'm going to see this top point here as a hard line. So in order for me to show then how that imposes itself, okay, so looking in from the back, this is going to be a broken line here. Looking in from the left, that is going to be a hard line. And then looking down on plan, this is going to be a hard line here. Okay. Now, in order to obviously make that maybe a little bit more clear as to how that imposes itself, I'm simply just going to shade in a certain part of it. So I'm just going to shade it in brown, what you can see with regards to the cut. So I'm going to see this is going to be part of the cut here. I shade it in as a brown line, brown shading. Okay, I'm going to see this here. This is going to be brown shading. So I have my elevation, side view here looking in from the left, side view here looking in from the right. A broken line here to indicate this line here. Okay, and then the plan looking down on top, I see the cut surface here. That's a hard line also. Now, the true shape of this cut surface, now that is where we need to have a pivot point. When we look in at these angles here, so when I'm looking down at the cut on plan, I'm not seeing a true shape of this cut surface. That's the true length of the line. Okay, this is the true width. But when I look down, I'm not seeing this as a true length. I'm seeing it from this point to this point, but as a horizontal. When I'm looking in at the side here, again, I'm looking at the true width, but not the true height here, because this is inclined at 45 degrees. So again, I'm seeing this point and this point, but on the vertical. Okay, so neither of these are true shapes of the cut surface. So in order to establish, well, what is the true shape of that cut surface, I can do a number of things. I can draw an auxiliary looking in at 90 degrees to the cut surface, okay, or I can use a swivel point. Using a swivel point, I use this point here or this point, and I bring it around onto the horizontal. So in order to do that, I need a compass. And I'm going to use this point here in the bottom left as a swivel point. So if I pull that point around now onto the horizontal and around to the horizontal line, and now I'm just going to simply bring this point down. Okay, now this point here, okay, is this line. Okay, so again, if we're swiveling this across, I'm just going to use another color, different color here, to indicate what I'm doing here with regards to the development. So this swivel point here goes across from that point So as a true length, that's the true length of the cut, and it's brought across to the horizontal. So that's the true length here imposed on the horizontal, brought down then to the plan. So if I bring this point here is along this line here. So this point here, I'm going to indicate it in blue. So that as a broken line. That point, and again I've already got the line marked here, so simply just going to draw this part here again as a broken line. Okay, so now what we have here is the true shape. This here is a true shape of cut surface. Okay, this here is the elevation. This here is a side view. Now remember, when you are showing a side view on the right hand side, it means you're looking in from the left hand side. This here on the left hand side is a side view, but you're looking in from the right hand side. So this is the right side and this is the left side, and this here then is the plan. Okay, so what I've got here, to recap, I have a square based rectangular prism, okay, and it is cut at 45 degrees, okay, situated just the size of the square based rectangular prism is 60 millimeters base, 90 millimeters height. The cut is imposed at 45 degrees and it is stepped up 35 millimeters from the left hand side, 45 degrees, and then you simply impose that cut then on the side view, the left hand side, looking in from the left hand side, the end view is on the right side, looking in from the right hand side, the end view is on the left hand side. Then your plan here, you're showing the cut imposed on the plan. The shaded area in brown is showing the cut surface imposed on what you see with regards to the end view and with regards to the plan. And then to develop the true shape, you establish a swivel point here. right? This is your true length of your cut surface, and you've already got your true width here. So you're simply using this as a swivel point, bringing the true length of the cut around onto the horizontal, okay? Bring it down to the plan, and then bring this point here, the swivel point is this line here. So you simply bring those 2 points out to meet the true length on the horizontal, and you're using this as a hinge, and you're pulling it around onto the horizontal, and you simply draw in the true shape of your cut surface. Okay.